So we're at the 1,000-kilometre mark. This next significant town, is Mildura. Still got 120 odd or thereabouts to Mildura. What I might do is try and find a campsite 20k out. So do 2 days to get to there. Day 3 could have a slow start and get in there for lunch by lunchtime. That sounds like a plan. Shut you back. Bloody wild weather. Oh, there you go. Day 1, I would have packed up my home, I think. And I'm shagged. Back on happy. So it was a bit of a casual start this morning. On the water by 8. I wasn't in any hurry. I think I'll do probably about a 40k day. That's the plan. That'll put me at the 904 mark, which is 15k or thereabouts, out of Mildura. I opted not to do the full trip into Mildura today. Well, when I was planning ahead, it would have meant 2 good days in a row, yesterday and today, 55k plus, to get into Mildura tonight. And the trouble with getting into town late in the day is it just doesn't take much to not line up in terms of the organisation, and it gets a bit too exciting late in the day. So I opted to have a slightly shorter day today and then a real short day tomorrow, and like I say, it puts me in Mildura by have a bit of a start tomorrow. No rush at all, wait until the sun comes up, warm up, but yeah, put me in Mildura by brew time, lunchtime maybe. And it still ends up with a leisurely afternoon, but I'm going to have 2 nights in Mildura, so that's a full rest day plus a bit, whatever tomorrow leaves me. I find that that's just a good combination. Just the one rest day, you tend to run around like a blue ass fly trying to do everything: washing, shopping, repacking, organising everything, planning, looking ahead, working out what the next stage brings, how we're going to work. So if I get in there a reasonable hour the day before, I can do some of that stuff, the menial chores. Obviously not too remote here, there's a highway just over there somewhere, you can probably hear it. Main highway. So I'm getting in a bit of built up country as well. probably only half an hour drive into Mildura, a day and a bit paddling. Anyway, looks like a cracker of a day. Some high cloud, we might get some wind again later on, I suspect we will. And I suspect I'll be camping tucked away in suburbia somewhere. Won't be a bush camp, I don't think. It'll be some little bloody secluded corner somewhere in a park or something. Probably not ideal. It's good just to sit in the sun on the sunny side of the river. It's just gone now behind a tree, but quite cool, particularly the hands. This could possibly be the shortest paddling day of the trip. If all goes to plan, I've only got 4 kilometres to paddle. I've set myself up in a cabin in the campground in Mildura. 2 nights. And I pulled up last night a bit shy, about 4 kilometres shy of Mildura, deliberately. So, late start today, deliberately, and 4 kilometre paddle into town. I think I need the rest. I'm starting to feel it. Feeling a bit sore. Yesterday's push in the wind knocked me around a bit. Went against my own advice really. Listen to the river, what's it allowing you to do? I went against that, pushed into it. Anyway. Rest for a couple of days, resupply, restock. Go again. Opened in 1985, the imposing George Chaffee Bridge, at a mere 331 metres long, carries the Sturt Highway. This bridge replaced the original lift-span bridge, built in 1927. This modern bridge stands sentinel to river travel and heralds one's arrival into Mildura. For me, the bridge symbolises the kick-off point to inland Australia travel. Having visited Mildura many times, often as a day one resting point for outback adventure touring into Australia's arid interior and tropical north. In this instance, however, it would mark a much earned and needed break. During all my trip planning, Mildura was always going to be a turning point, a milestone, a place I would be aiming for. A destination in its own right, but also the kick-off point for the rest of the river journey. And here I was, now having journeyed some 1400 kilometres down this mighty river with the best part of 1,000 kilometres to go. Despite all my running around, restocking supplies, recharge all my electricals, recharge myself. Multiple trips into town, I was back on the river, ready to tackle the downhill run to my destination. Prior to this river journey, my one and only experience with a lock was right here, lock number 11. Many years ago, I'd spent a short sojourn on the river, in good company, on a houseboat holiday. I had plenty of time to ponder the changing landscape of the river. Before now, I felt the river was, for all intensive purposes, a natural landscape. For the most part, I was in the bush, with minor interludes with the built-up environment. Now, sitting in Lock 11, waiting for the first lockage of the day, I was reminded of development along the river, the pressures on the river, and the probability any wilderness experience will be over my shoulder. Nonetheless, whatever lay downstream, whatever I was yet to experience, whatever I was yet to learn, I was excited with anticipation. About a kilometre down here we've got the confluence of the Murray and the Darling rivers. That's about a kilometre down there. So what we're going to do now though is we've got a sneaky little cut through just here between the Murray and the Darling and go straight across to the caravan park, which is my intended destination for this evening, this afternoon even. And then tomorrow we'll maybe duck back through here and down to the confluence, or we might just go down the Darling. There's the lock's just down there, so probably have to hang around, get the timing right for that. So yeah, we've got this sneaky little cut through this here. We'll have a look. My arrival at Wentworth happened to coincide with the annual fishing competition. Needless to say, the caravan park was abuzz with campers, and combined with major renovations being undertaken at the time, space was certainly limited. In saying that, the hosts of the park certainly made me welcome and ensured I had enough room to squeeze in amongst the other campers and enjoy the facilities. This is the confluence of the two great rivers. I'm on the Darling and there's the Murray coming in on the left. I've been on the Murray obviously the whole time, I just cut through back there to the caravan park. Two great rivers, the Murray and the Darling. And then just in front of me here we've got Lock 10. They're on the water early. I suspect I might be a bit too early because just in front of me I've got lock number 9. And I can go through at 8 o'clock. Trouble is I think it operates on South Australian time. So at my time it's 7:45. So when I get there 8 o'clock, I suspect I've got to wait half an hour. Adjust my watch, I think, because they might all operate South Australian time, although we're not in South Australia yet. So I got here last night, it was 5:30 or something, last light, and I actually paddled down to the lock looking for a campsite, couldn't find any, so I had to turn around and go back again. It's probably the first time I've paddled back upstream. Of course it was on last light. Yeah, had a good little spot there. Just gone through Loch 9. Pretty big rock. Evidently from here, bottom end of that rock, from here to the coast, there's only 24 metres elevation change. So we're only 24 metres above sea level here, and we are 770 kilometres from the coast. So we're not going to get much assistance in the flight, which we haven't had for a number of days anyway. There you go, you can't pick it. I've just put everything on because it was horrendous. The wind was blowing, the gale. It was raining. The sky was awesome. And then it's just died right out. I don't think it'll last long. There's a lot more weather around. So I've been dragging the chain a little bit because it blew all night. Wasn't at ground level, fortunately. I was worried. I camped under these big bloody trees. Anyway, we've started. Bit of a late start, 8 o'clock. Well, better. During the night I was thinking it wouldn't be a start at all. I'm really not sure how it's going to pan out. 50km/h forecast wind, northerly. It's hot. Here I am rubbed up in bloody Gore-Tex jacket. I didn't put it on. Get around the corner into a squall and not need it on. It's not a simple effort to put it on. It doesn't fit over me life vest, so I've got to put it underneath, which means strip it down. Anyway, some of the dilemmas of this sort of thing, I guess. Oh, hot already. We haven't even done 100 metres. Anyway, I'd rather be hot than and have no wind than blowing the ring off. It's already like 20 degrees. So we've got lock What is it? Block. I've been through that one. Block 7. About 25k from camp. So going on yesterday's and the current rate of travel. That'll be just after lunch. I'm really going to have to just watch the wind as I come around these corners and pick the line, the good bank to tuck in under, if any. Important, stay out, no entry. So typical of New South Wales side of the river. And we're miles from anywhere. There's no bloody, no houses anywhere. Private property. The water's edge. They obviously have problems and keep people away, but you know, there's not a bloody house for miles. Anyway, later on, Wilson. Couldn't pick it. The wind's just dropped right out. It's gone. I don't think it's just the bite that I'm on. I think it's gone. Or it's low. But it is raining. And I think apart from a session in camp early in the trip where it rained hard. This is probably the heaviest I've had it rain while I've been on the river. I use that term heavy lightly. But I'm not wearing a skirt, so depends on how heavy it gets. Keep mopping it up. We sponge in the cockpit. I'm actually enjoying it. It's great. I hope I don't eat my own word. But right now, it's shit hot. There is a downside. My solar panels not getting any sun, so I'm not charging me battery. He's getting down. It's below 50%. So there won't be too many phone calls or online shopping tonight. Conserve the phone, leave it off. Gotta keep my navigator charged because it's my one source of truth. Mapping, security, communication. I'll take these conditions over what I was experiencing throughout the night and what was forecast. Actually, when I woke up this morning, the wind was blowing that much. I got the maps out and it took forever to load up the weather on the phone because I only had one bar of 3G, so barely any service. Just to have a look at what was forecast. It was up to 50 km/h northerlies and northwesterlies. Still to come. Anyway, I was looking at the map, so I was actually contemplating riding it out in a tent. You know, I looked at the map and the aspect that I'm paddling today is predominantly not what was going to be affected or influenced by that wind. Took a punt. Rain's getting quite heavy now. It's a shame that film doesn't have smell-o-vision, because this bit of rain has just brought out an aroma in the bush that's phenomenal. Beautiful. Obviously the forest is responding to refreshing rain. Geez, if you could only can that. I guess it's responding a bit like we do when we have a tub up. We might use a few lotions and potions, but it's effectively the same. It's cleaning all that crap off, freshening us up. The bush is doing the same. It's not, I guess there's eucalypt in there, but it's different. It's beautiful. It's just responding to the rain. It has to be. No other reason for it. Just cleaning all that dust off and opening up its pores and sucking that rain in, the moisture in. It's incredible. Certainly beats the odour that I'm putting off at the moment, that's for sure. The weekend thermals is... Well, in fact, it's not the thermals that's the problem. They're merino wool, there's not much odour at all, it's the synthetics that are on over top of them. Settled right in now. The river coming in over there on the right. Messages from Albert. We might have a little bit of flow apparently. Above the weight because I was pumping it out real hard to get to the lock by 11:30 and I didn't make it. I went about 20 to 12 and I sat for lunch. So I called them up and asked them if there's somewhere I could sit out of the rain. They probably backfired a little bit. Oh no, I'll let you through. Oh, which is good. I didn't get to shoulder out of the rain having your lunch. Anyway. If I have to, I'll pull up and put my tent up and breathe for a couple of hours. It's been a huge 24 hours. Last night it just blew wind. I was pretty safe and secure where I was. It was high in the tops and it blew its ring off, but I was tucked in a little corner and it didn't really buffet the tent too much. So I slept pretty well. But it didn't stop. Just kept at it all night. So I woke up this morning at 5 o'clock, my alarm went off, as it does, and I was in a lather. I was dripping wet. I'm rugged up, I've got my beanie on, a thermal top, just nice and cosy. It was 20 degrees Celsius, 5 o'clock in the morning. Still blowing. So I actually got my maps out and had a bit of a look through them for the day. Tried to determine what was ahead, what the wind direction, which was forecast to be a northerly, what that was going to do to me in terms of the section of river that I was paddling. Because it was forecast to be 45 kilometres an hour most of the day. So I looked at the maps and procrastinated, got the weather app up, and it was slow because I only had one bar of 3G. So anyway, I decided any kilometre I do today is a kilometre I don't have to do tomorrow. So we're going to do it. So up I got. A bit later than usual, having gone through all that rigmarole, and went through my usual routine. I was on the water by just before 8, and there's a couple of ripper rainbows, and clearly there was moisture in the air. So I decided I'd put my raincoat on first up. It's easier to do it then than trying to do it on the track, on the water. So I'd put it on, and try and regulate the heat because it was hot, and off I went. But anyway, the minute I put my boat on the water, literally put it on the water, the wind stopped completely. Nothing. Died right out. I wasn't sure if it was just the direction changed or what. But anyway, multiple corners, still no wind, but the rain came. Did it come? It came down. Anyway, I had my Gore-Tex jacket on, and I was dry from the waist up, cosy, and I just paddled on, and what was it, Lock 7? I gave him a call when I was about 4k out, having just been passed by a boat. I thought, he's going to get there, they're going to let him through, and then I'm going to turn up 5 minutes later and they'll have to let me through. So I called them up, hoping they'd hold the boat up and we'd go through at the same time. As it turns out, the last lockage, as they call it, before lunch is 11:30. At this point, so I'm 4 kilometres out, and it is a quarter past, well, I think it was 11:18 actually when I rang, and then it doesn't start again till 1. Now I was never going to get 4 kilometres in 12 minutes, 15 minutes, but I tried. So I put the pedal to the metal, and I went like a clapper. Anyway, I got there, and of course the other boat's gone, it's all done and dusted. So I pulled up on the boat ramp just shy of the lock, and the rain came in heavy. So I was just looking for a shelter somewhere to get out. I'm going to have to wait until 1 o'clock before I can get through. I'm going to have lunch and sitting or standing, whatever, in this rain. I couldn't find anywhere, it was all fenced off. So I rang up the lock guy again. I said, oh, is there anywhere I can shelter? I'm going to wait till 1 o'clock. So is there somewhere I can get out of the bloody weather, veranda or something? He said, oh look, I'll let you through the lock. Which was awesome. But so now I've got no shelter. I'm back in my boat, and I'm sitting in the lock, and it's pouring. It bucketed down. Anyway, we go through the lock, which was awesome. He didn't have to do that, so that was fantastic. And off I went downstream, and I had always planned a couple of corners down. I could see there was a couple of little beaches. I'd pull up there, and which I did. And just as I pulled up, the rain stopped, sun come out, bloody ripper. But all the black dirt has now turned to black mud. Anyway, we can deal with that. So I found there was actually a boat ramp at one of those corners, so I pulled up an old concrete boat ramp, and a picnic table. So I managed to sort of be able to get out of the squalid conditions and have some lunch. And then off I went. So I got the end of the day, I got to where I had intended or wanted to get to, place just around from Devil's Elbow. So I think it was 48 kilometres, or 48 k's today, which is awesome. It's huge, really, given the conditions. And a big beach, and wind was picking up again. So, gee. It was a little bit sheltered where I parked the boat, so I started setting everything up, and it was on the sand. So I had to fashion some sand pegs out of sticks and sort of got the tent up. It just didn't feel right. I knew it wouldn't endure. If this wind picked up, it just wasn't going to handle it. And in the distance, as the sun's going down in the west, I can see, I thought, what's going on in the sky over there? Something's happening. There's some weather coming. I can see it. So it's not just this local wind, there's some weather. And it was coming fast. And I'm trying to get this tent secure, and I'm getting longer sticks, and they're breaking, and they're just in the sand, and then the tent's gone. This squall hit, there goes the tent. Just left the mesh inner here with all my sleeping bag and thermorest and everything all laid out and exposed to the weather. So I'm busy trying to stop the tent flying away. I'm busy trying to pack my gear into some sort of weatherproof bags to stop it getting bloody wet. Anyway. The outcome of all that is I've ended up pitching the tent on higher ground where I originally, when I first pulled up, I thought, oh, that's probably a good spot up there. Oh dear. If there was ever a night to be cosy in bed, tonight's the night.